Hey guys, it is Tuesday. That means it's AMA, it's election day. So while the fate of the free world holds us all in suspense, might as well go ahead and talk about branding, marketing, and business, right? So we'll give it a few seconds here, as always, to kind of just warm up and get started, because I know Facebook takes a little bit to kick in, and then we will dive right into today's show, which I am so excited about because this is coming straight from tactics and learning experiences that I've put in my business the last month. And it's learnings that I have found and gotten really, really excited about. And I'm excited to share them with you because it was largely an experiment for myself. And it worked out better than I could have ever imagined. And I know that if you implement even some of these things, you're going to see your business take off just like I did. So here we go. Today we're going to talk about how to brand yourself from the inside out. And I'll give you kind of the background of what triggered this this AMA today, which was yesterday I had a meeting, really more of a lunch, with a local artist. She's a wife of a good friend and a prospect, and she was asking me how she can use social media to increase her reach to her prospects. So we started talking a little bit about that, and what we really uncovered in conversation was not that she was struggling to reach people on social media, but that she was just struggling to keep up with all the different facets of her business, some of which she found incredibly disempowering, that would free her up to take consistent action on social media. So it wasn't necessarily using better, craftier, or slicker social media strategies. That wasn't the case. It was that she was so overwhelmed by everything that was happening in her business, she couldn't take consistent action on social media. And as we all know, consistency is king in social media. If you miss even a day on a platform, it is really going to set you back. You have to really dedicate yourself. So the conversation, once we really got to the underlying challenges she was facing, which was she was struggling to keep up with the operations of her business, we were actually able to take the conversation in a much more progressive way, which was, how do you create systems internally that will free yourself up in your business so you can focus on the things that you love? You can have more time to actually do your business, so all parts of your business are firing simultaneously, and so overall you get decreased stress in your business. So today I'm going to give you 4 tactics to really improve efficiencies inside of your business that will brand you as much more premium outside of your business. Then we're going to talk about why they work, and I'm going to give you some hard-hitting quick takeaways to implement as soon as right now, and you'll start seeing immediate results. And like I said, all 4 of these things I started doing in my business really over the course of the last month or two, and the results that I've experienced are insane. I've just had my most profitable month in business, and this is being out of town in Chicago, about to head to New York City, about to go to Philly, and then spend a week in Myrtle Beach. And I'm not stressing out because of it, because these systems are in place. So let's dive right into it. Number 1, hire a virtual assistant, or consider hiring a virtual assistant. I have had a virtual assistant in place now for about a month. And really, the catalyst of me bringing one on was I did not find I had enough time. Fortunately, I was so booked up with clients to consistently post on my 2 biggest channels, Facebook and LinkedIn, to drive more business in. Well, that's a problem. Just because one part of your business is going really well, like actual execution, having a large client list, does not mean another part of it, marketing and lead gen, can suffer. And when you're one person, oftentimes the areas that you're focusing on fluctuate based on what's happening in your business. So by hiring a virtual assistant, they can pick up the areas that you are not focusing on, so everything is firing at all times. Guys, you can get a virtual assistant to do everything. So what I started doing was having my virtual assistant, thank you, Jessica, started having my virtual assistant post to all of my social media feeds. Now, it's important that you still come up with a post because you want to maintain the brand voice and the authenticity of the brand. But I was finding myself in meetings a lot and missing opportune windows to post to my various social media. So what I do now is I take 2 hours twice a month. I come up with my social calendar, blog posts. I turn it all over to her. She plugs it into my website. She posts it on LinkedIn. Every day she's posting statuses, Instagram posts, Facebook posts. So I'm not missing a beat. It's still my brand voice because I created it, but I'm not wasting time actually taking the actions, which when you add them all up together is a considerable amount of time. So they can handle those aspects of business, but they can also handle various aspects of your life. Like, I really started to outsource anything I didn't like doing. I just turned her over a list of book doctor's appointments, book travel, schedule meetings. So really all I have to do is show up and play to my strengths and play to the things that I enjoy and love doing. I've also completely outsourced my bookkeeping. I was sick of chasing prospects down, or rather clients down when they weren't paying. I was sick of creating invoices. Those of you who know me probably know math and numbers aren't really my strongest suit. And I just didn't want to deal with it, right? So I got rid of it. I gave it to my bookkeeper. And the best part is she can play bad cop and I don't have to deal with it. I can just be the awesome consultant that I am that gets to help them. And when it comes time to pay, she's on them, and she's on them very frequently. So seriously consider getting a virtual assistant and maybe an outsourced bookkeeper, and you can find one in and of the same to handle those areas of your business you don't like. My VA even books me speaking gigs. I would have had to spend considerable time making nicey nice and building relationships with event coordinators to land speaking gigs. The VA that I found, I made sure she had experience in booking high paid speakers. So I just give her my speaking list and my key talks and topics, and she goes out and actually builds those relationships for me and then tells me, here's where it is that you want to look to speak, and here's where it is we're going to go after to get you to speak. So you can do that. You can really tailor your VAs to any need that you or skill set that you want them to have. So number one, hire a virtual assistant. Do it before you're ready. I didn't think I was ready to outsource and take on that investment and oversee somebody, but just set yourself up with a budget and experiment to do it. So what I did was, I'm going to give myself a month. I'm going to give myself a budget of $600. I found one that was like $30 to $35 an hour. And I'm just gonna see how it goes. And the money that this woman has made me has already more than paid for the amount of money I'm paying for her a month. So do yourself a favor and try getting a virtual assistant. If you need recommendations, email me. I have a lot of great agencies. I've already done all the legwork of vetting them, and I can really point you to some great VA agencies. Let's see, let me make sure I didn't leave anything out here. Oh, another thing too is when you do bring on the VA, don't just give them professional tasks. I want to challenge you to give them personal tasks you don't really enjoy doing either. I make her pay my parking tickets. Yes, I get them. That is a reality of my life. I don't look forward to getting them. It's not something I get excited about. Really, I looked at all aspects of my life, both personal and professional, and thought, what am I not excited about? And how can I outsource that so I can only spend 80% of my time on the 20% of things that get me jazzed, pumped, motivated, and inspired and make me the most money? So, number one, get a virtual assistant. Number two, and this is coming straight from 4-Hour Workweek, so I'll go ahead and give praise to Tim Ferriss and I'll recap it. Block and tackle, block and tackle, block and tackle, block and tackle everything. I block and tackle my emails now. I block and tackle prospect meetings. I block and tackle phone calls, everything. When you consistently stop and do things like drive a couple of hours to meetings and then come back and try and work, constantly check your inbox, consistently take phone calls, what you're doing is A, creating yourself up to act sporadically and not play to focus and concentration, and B, you give the appearance that you're available at any time and can bend to a prospect's whim. If you are branding yourself as premium, and you absolutely should aspire to do that, you need to create a little bit of scarcity here. So how this came up in conversation was my client, well, my prospect the other day was saying, God, I waste this. She doesn't waste time. It's business, but she spends time traveling to DC, having these meetings about commissioned portraits. It sucks up a lot of time. And then there is the meeting and then traffic. And she has to do it, pretty frequently because a lot of her business is in DC. And what I challenged her to do is to say to her DC prospects, she lives in Baltimore, just some context, is create DC days. And when they ask to meet with you, tell them, sounds great. My DC market days this month are this day, and this day, and then book up your calendar. They will get excited and respect you more because you're not automatically just saying, sure, next Tuesday sounds great. You're respecting your time. You're playing to what works for you. And again, people want what they can have. If they don't think you're available for another 2 weeks, then that's going to create really nice urgency and scarcity for them to act upon. That's positioning you as premium. And guess what? If they give you a whole bunch of crap for it and they think it's terrible, not a good prospect, move along. Signs are going to be a pain in the butt anyways. So block and tackle. For the email, I started checking it twice a day at 12 p.m. and at 4 p.m. Another one I stole right from 4 Hour Workweek, because these are hours where people are typically on lunch or getting ready to leave the office. So when you email them back, it doesn't turn into this long string of emails. And make sure that you're speaking to everything and leaving no room for debate in the emails that you send. So now I send emails, I copy my assistant on it, and I say, if you want to do this, do this. If you'd rather do this, email Melissa. If you're ready to move forward, please copy everybody on this email and we will send you the contract. So I don't have to spend 5 or 6 emails going back and forth with resulting steps. I get it all in one email, and I really empower my prospects and clients to make their own choices, and then empower my virtual assistant to help them figure it out, get it all scheduled up, and get the paperwork in. So blocking and tackling. That is crucial. Start looking at activities that you can block and tackle. It positions you as premium because you're not available all the time, and it saves you stress. The third one, is get a scheduling app. Oh my gosh, scheduling apps. They are amazing. Again, a lot of time is wasted going back and forth. And when are you available? When am I available? When are you available? When am I available? It is such a time suck. Get a scheduling app. This works for 2 reasons. 1, you are completely eliminated from the equation. It just knows your calendar. You integrate it with your Google Calendar or Office Calendar or what have you. And then your prospects can see and your clients can see when you're free, and they can take their own time in figuring out what aligns with their schedule. So it works from an efficiency standpoint of you not needing to get involved. But again, it also works in positioning you as premium. If you're begging to get on somebody's calendar, that says something about you. If you say to a prospect, really looking forward to talking to you, here's my booking link, go ahead and schedule some time. If they're really excited to work with you, they're going to book time. So you're actually increasing your chances of talking to high converting prospects, because prospects who aren't serious and that you're chasing down, they'll be like, okay, I guess I'll talk to them on the phone and just see what they have to say. But when you reverse the roles and you say, okay, I'm willing to talk, here's my booking link, and say it professionally and say it with poise, here's my booking link, take a look and go ahead and schedule some time and we'll talk about your project. If they're hot to buy, they will automatically schedule time on that calendar. They're excited to speak to you. I said it to a prospect today. Sounds great. I would love to talk to about a LinkedIn engagement. Kind of busy in the upcoming weeks. Here's my booking link. Go ahead, take a look, see what may work for you, and schedule it according to your calendar. She booked within 5 minutes. Do you think that my chances of closing that prospect are going to be pretty high? Yeah, if they're that excited to book and get on the phone with me to talk about my services and the ball was in their court to do so, I think that meeting is going to go pretty well versus me chasing somebody down and trying to get on their calendar. So there's 2 reasons it works really well. There's an efficiency reason and a mindset reason. The last tactic that I'm going to give you today is package your services and products. As a service-based business, as a coach, as a consultant, this is going to be invaluable for you. When you package your services, what you can do is actually send it over to prospects, give them an idea of everything that they get, and slide them over a minimum. Again, so you don't have to waste time qualifying. So I actually empower my VA to do this now. Okay, great. If you're interested in talking to Kate, here's the suite of services that she provides. Here's who each of them are designed for. Here's generally what you'll get by working with her, and here's the minimum price point. If this aligns with your budget, with what you're thinking you need, with your availability, I'll go ahead and book some time on Kate's calendar and you guys can talk. What was happening before was people said, oh, I need help with LinkedIn. And then I would get on the phone with them and either the budget didn't align or we would spend a lot of time talking about what they get. Now I send them LinkedIn engagement packages and I say, this is what you get. It's 6 modules. We'll cover X, Y, and Z. Minimum pricing is this. We'll adjust it if you want some add-ons or some upsells. If this looks like what you're after and the budget is where you want to be, let's go ahead and schedule some time about how we can really shape this to look for you. So I kind of have like the skeleton of the packages, and then I also give myself the freedom to modify them and customize them to the prospects. But it saves me time because I have people all the time say, oh boy, $1,700 for a LinkedIn engagement, not really where I want to be. Okay, great, mazel tov, doesn't really align with my business, doesn't really align with where they're at budget-wise now, and then neither one of us have to waste time only to arrive to that conclusion anyways. So package your products and services. It will save you time. It will also save you time writing proposals. Oh my God, proposal writing. I hate it. I'm so sick of proposal writings. Now I kind of have the skeletons of my proposals, and like I said, I can just modify them based on what somebody wants. So those are my 4 big ways to create efficiencies in your business, brand yourself as premium, and save yourself a whole bunch of headaches. The last part, and guys, please stick around for this because I really believe that what I'm about to say is the reason that any of this works. The last part of this AMA is going to be talking about the mentality behind all of these tactics. And I cannot impress upon you enough why this is the underlying key to success to everything that I just said. Here's why all of those things work. Because people who are successful and who are experts in their field do these things. And the sooner you start acting like the expert and industry leader you are and respecting yourself as such, the sooner you become that way. I really want to say that I didn't do any of these things just to create small efficiencies here and there. I sat down one day and I thought, wow, I'm kind of in a state of overwhelm. What kind of professional do I want to create myself to be? And I do this every single morning, and those of you who know me know this. What professional do I want to be? And standing in that point of being an expert, of being an industry leader, what will I tolerate in my business, and what actions will I take, and what will I not tolerate, and what don't I have time for? And that's not being haughty, that's not being cocky, that is positioning yourself and seeing yourself and creating yourself from the inside out. You cannot externally brand yourself as an expert, and you cannot externally brand yourself as somebody who is premium and then internally not align with that. So really, I think the reason all of this worked out is because I intentionally said, no, I'm going to really step into being a thought leader and expert, and I'm only going to take actions that those people would take. And honestly, do I think really busy people who are running successful multi-million-dollar businesses book their own appointments? Nope. So I'm not going to do it either. And I'm going to respect myself and my time and really give myself the liberty and freedom of outsourcing things that I don't enjoy and giving myself the space to do the things that I love, that fill me up, and that make me the most money. So those are 4 ways that you can brand internally and create efficiency, scalability, and operations inside of your business so that externally you can step into and position yourself as the premium business you want to be. I have had a hard time seeing the comments here, so let me just check. Is your virtual assistant an employee of Ladon Marketing and Branding, or is it a B2B service that you pay? It is an agency. I suggest working with an agency because if at any point you don't like the virtual assistant, they'll just get rid of them and find another one. And I don't really feel like paying for benefits right now. I'm not in that place in my business, to be candid. I know, I do. Great point. Okay, awesome. I think I might have gotten them all. So glad. Great. You guys are seeing me super live right now. The next thing I'm going to outsource is somebody to film these videos. Okay, great. Thank you guys so much for joining. If you have any questions, let me know. As always, I do recap these. I put the written notes and even extra tips on LinkedIn, so make sure that you're connecting with me there. I will email them out, so always make sure you're signed up for the email. And otherwise, I hope that you guys got tremendous amounts of value from this AMA. I hope that you all voted today, and I will see you next week. Bye, guys.